don't care.
So there was recently a survey that said 80% of British Jews identify as Zionists, 6% say they're not Zionists. What do you think about these kind of numbers?
We don't believe the Jews at all anyway. We don't believe them.
You don't believe the Jews?
We don't believe the Jews anyway.
What do you mean by that?
We don't believe them what they're saying anyway because they never stop the killing.
Can I just ask you, what's the sign about?
It's self-explanatory. Self-explanatory. Babies being killed, Netanyahu behaving like a Nazi, being aided by Biden and Rishi Sunak. So I think it's quite self-explanatory what the sign is about.
I saw on social media, I think I saw this cartoon by a cartoonist.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I'm using it.
Okay, no.
Okay?
Yes, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm using it.
Okay. No, I was going to say, some people on social media accuse the cartoonist of being anti-Semitic.
No, there's nothing anti-Semitic about this at all. There was kosher written along the top, but I've deleted that because some Jewish people might find that offensive, but I couldn't give a shit what Zionists think. Okay? So I think this says enough. Anti-Semitic, I'm not listening to any of that bullshit anymore. We are against genocide. Zionists are like Nazis, and if that's anti-Semitic, then it, because I don't care.
The Israeli state is a key part of the World Economic Forum, which believes in world depopulation. And there's a bigger genocide going on now, namely the killing of people through the vaccine. There's 100,000 people killed every year through the jab in the United Kingdom. 17 million have been killed over the world. This has to be stopped. The World Economic Forum must be destroyed.
Would you say that the Zionists are behind the vaccine?
Yes.
Do you think that Israel has a right to exist as a country?
No.
I think it's quite clear that the IDF were responsible for quite a lot of the civilian Israeli deaths, in fact. There are the stories of the 40 beheaded babies after serial rapes. It's looking very unlikely that those were true, and yet they're repeatedly parroted by the Western media.
Do you think Hamas are anti-Semitic?
No, I don't think so.
It seems to be kind of like increased interest right now in sexual crimes committed by Hamas. Have you heard about these?
I'm sorry, I just find a lot of this complete hocus pocus. If it's true, it's dreadful, and I'm completely and utterly opposed to it. But I'm sceptical as to what degree the Israelis have got evidence to and they've in fact they've yet to actually come out with real material evidence that this is the case.
What kind of evidence do you think would be necessary?
Well, newsreel, really. At the end of the day, absolutely, that's what it would depend on. And in fact, it's been alleged, again, I don't know, but it's been alleged that the Israelis do in fact have newsreel of these so-called atrocities to show that in fact the atrocities were not committed by Hamas, but by Israeli weaponry, being mistargeted and I don't know what. There's all sorts of, but it's what you would expect in any crisis situation like this, particularly one involving Zionists. Zionists are a dab hand at coming out with all sorts of bogus nonsense.
There have been a lot of reports about the rapes and sexual violence from Hamas against Israeli women. What are your thoughts about these reports?
Well, what happened on October the 7th was arranged by the Israeli state. So whether these things are true or not, I don't know. But the culpability for everything that's happened is the Israeli state.
Do you think that Israeli women were raped on October 7th?
I think what?
Do you think Israeli women were raped on October 7th?
I don't know.
As you probably know, in the UK, Hamas are a prescribed terrorist organisation, which means it's illegal to wear support for them. Do you think that's unfair?
No comment.